I'm warning you. Hello there. I'm Scotty. You're not. Zit. The big one. We arrived at Smallville, Season 6, Episode 12. 12. Did I upload the last episode? Don't think I did. So, I got too excited. Episode 11. Excuse me. Episode 11. Justice. Justice. This was big. I remember this was in TV guides back in the day. They were finally gonna do a big Justice League type episode, and I remember back in the day, like obviously I wasn't able to watch it because I didn't have cable at the time, and for some reason they didn't put the full episodes of Smallville on the CW website. Supernatural they did, but not Smallville. Pissed me off. So I could watch the episodes of Supernatural that were coming out. I could go to my grandma's and watch them on the computer, but not this. So I had to wait till the DVD came out. This is not a Blu-ray, but the DVD came out. This is also smaller than the one for the DVD. I watched it. And I remember when I watched it, I was a bit disappointed. But now as an adult and how I understand how certain productions work, I understand why they had to do what they did with certain characters in this episode. You have to take Bart out because there's two speedsters in the show. If they were both doing their thing, well, Clark has super speed. It's very OP. You know, that's why Wally was benched most of the time on the Flash. It's not because the Flash was the star of the show, although that was part of it. Two speedsters. How are you going to do with that? You know? It's probably also why Wally wasn't used on Legends of Tomorrow more. He was good during the second half of that season, but, you know, with a speedster on the show, it's hard not to have him be OP all the time. How many times you have him on the show, and how could you not have something simple as, just have Wally go run and do that, you know? So, yeah. So we start off with Chloe at the Daily Planet. Say it right. I keep trying not to say Daily Bugle. Daily Planet. She's approached by this doctor guy that she was trying to talk to. He has a gun and points it at her because she's probing into Lex's 33.1 stuff. But she's saved by a mysterious speedster person. Clark arrives and says that wasn't him. It was someone else. So he follows the speedster. I will say, I just thought of this now. So the first speedster shows up and takes out this guy, stops the gun. But then Clark shows up, assesses the situation, and chases after the speedster, leaving Chloe with the guy who was about to shoot her. Sure, he's knocked out. What if he woke up and then tried to strangle her or something? What if he wasn't knocked out and he was just discombobulated for a minute? I'm just saying. But he chases this super fast person down and finds out it's Bart. You know, from 2 seasons ago, Kyle Gallner. Yeah, Bart Allen. Yeah, it's Bart. Don't call him Allen, but yeah. So, yeah, he's back. And we get the opening credits. We get the Bart opening credits. And Clark has told Chloe that the guy got away. But they're talking in the barn. I think it's the barn. And Bart super speeds up. She doesn't see him. And he's like, "Hey, gorgeous." And she's like, "Do I know you?" Like, "It's Bart." It's like 2 years ago. "Oh yeah, 2 years ago, before you had a boyfriend." Clark throws out there, "Before you had a boyfriend." Jimmy is also not in this episode. Yeah. I actually think after the credits, it's sexy times are interrupted again because Oliver and Lois are getting ready for sexy times because she accidentally spilled martini on his shirt, so they begin sexy time to make up for him, but he gets a phone call and has to uh, yeah. We've also seen that Bart is breaking into a LuthorCorp facility to steal files, which Lex is not too happy, and then Lionel basically chewing him out for how he's running this whole 33.1 project. And yeah, Lionel, who hasn't been seen since oh I don't remember. It's been too long. I really don't remember last time we saw him. He was in Arrow, the episode, not the show. He was in the episode Arrow. I don't remember. I don't know. I really don't. I really don't. I really don't. Really don't. Don't. But Bart tells Clark that he's a courier now. Lickety split, don't have a fit. Finally, that reference that I keep making, lickety split, don't have a fit, it's gonna make sense now. Because that's what he says. He goes, yeah, I'm a courier. I pick up things and I bring them to people. Lickety split, don't have a fit. That sort of thing. Yeah, he's a courier. He's also working for Oliver, if I know. But I should mention that. I guess they do. He steals the LuthorCorp. He super speeds. The Green Arrow is there to get the stuff from him. Why he can't just bring it? I guess that to track him down. Had to meet in an alleyway. I guess, but yeah. So Clark confronts because apparently Lex has a camera fast enough to take a picture of this. It's still a blur, but you think if like in the previous episode before this, Clark was able to super speed before Jimmy could take a picture of him, right? Yet Bart, who is admittedly, by Clark's own admission, faster than he, can be caught on cam. For the purposes of this episode, I guess. And so Lex brings this up to Lionel, and Lionel immediately brings it to Clark, says, hey, you're at night of festivities. Make sure you don't get caught. And he's like, that's not me. Well, who is it? He doesn't say, but he knows it's Bart. He confronts Bart, and Bart's like, you don't even know anything about this. You don't know. He's like, I've been, no, you know. So eventually Clark figures out that he's working for Oliver because they hack. Chloe hacks into certain things and tracks everything down to Oliver. Meanwhile, once again, Bart tries to get something to get information, but he is zapped and taken prisoner by Lex. Clark then confronts Oliver about the situation, and Oliver reveals that, yeah, they're working together, but he should have reported back and hasn't. And he's like, well, we think Lex has him, so we should go save him. And he's like, oh, I got my team on it. What team, you ask? Arthur A.C. Curry and Victor Stone, a.k.a. Aquaman and Cyborg. Yeah, even though the Victor Stone in this series, played by the late Lee Thompson Young, which I remember being happy to see Lee Thompson Young, because I'm a Chet Jackson fan. I grew up with Chet Jackson on the Disney Channel, so it's like, yeah, they got a good choice. He was Silver Stone, and now he's Android Stone. He was Silver Stone, and now he's Victor Stone. From Silver Stone to Victor Stone. Lee Thompson Young story. Something tells me that's not what they would write about, unfortunately. Sometimes people only find... Sometimes people just want to make money off of your shortcomings. But I'm not one of those people, so... But, you know. So anyway, they decide they've got to find a way to break in and save Bart. They all have code names. Bart's is Impulse because... And I remember being like, why is he Impulse? Why isn't he Flash? And he's like, well, Bart didn't get to pick his name either. And I'm like, why isn't he Flash? I didn't realize who Bart Allen actually was. I thought they called him that because they couldn't call him Barry Allen. Although at the time, the Flash for me and everyone who watched Justice League was Wally West. So I was very confused. It was the Wally... And Michael Rosenbaum did the voice of Wally West. So, yeah. So I didn't understand why he couldn't be called Flash. And, you know, now I know better. But, like, he also does become the Flash in the comics. The blue one. Is he the one that becomes a Blue Lantern, or is it that Barry? I think that's Barry. I don't remember. But anyway, it's convoluted. I do want to point out one of my favorite clips from Justice League is when when Wally West, as played by Michael Rosenbaum, the Flash switches bodies with Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor, of course, is voiced by the great Clancy Brown. Superman the Animated Series and Justice League, same voice. But Michael Rosenbaum does the voice of the Wally West Flash on Justice League. So, when they swap minds and Lex Luthor's in the body of the Flash, he's once again playing Lex Luthor. And one of my favorite clips is when he's like, well, if anything, at least I'll get to know his identity. He takes the mask off and he looks and he goes, I have no idea who this is. And he puts the mask back on. I love it. And he's kind of doing his Lex Luthor voice there, too. I have no idea who this is. I have no idea what you're talking about. It's that same kind of cadence that he has, you know. Oh, if only he is added that little Lex Luthor. I have no idea what you're talking about. The little that he does. I have no idea what you're talking about. The little click that he does with his lips, his tongue. I have no idea what you're talking about. And here I thought that you were just coming to visit me to see how I was. Something like that. He did a little click in his tongue. Anyway, they decide they have to break in to 33.1 to save Bart. And they have Chloe. She's the person in the chair. And her code name is Watchtower. And I watched Justice League Unlimited at the time. You know, I watched the show. I knew what Watchtower was. So I was like, this is it. This is the Justice League, you know. They do add a couple more members, sort of. We finally get to meet another member of the Justice League in the next episode. And in season 7, we get not only another of the Justice League, but a connection to Green Arrow in the comics. You know. Let's just say she's allowed. We meet other allies along the way too, but yeah. So they break in, and they're calling Clark Boy Scout, which is also a nickname for Superman. They call him the Boy Scout. Oh, look at the Boy Scout, because he's always about truth, justice, and the American way. Although nowadays they won't say American way because it's too corny, or truth. But I'm also a big fan of justice. So I like that line from Justice League. I don't think it's any other one, but truth. But I'm also a big fan of justice. So was Tommy Lee Jones in Batman Forever. Actually, he was a fan of true justice. That's what he's a fan of. Anyway, which is flipping the coin, I guess. Actually, I got a quarter. Hold on. It's on the floor, I think. I can't use it in my laundry. It's weird. It's like it got smushed. See that? You see it? It's like it got smushed. Focus! Get my face off of there. There we go. See? It's like it's smushed. I almost stepped on it or something. Anyway, it was in my roller course. Or, no, I think this is when I got back from Walmart or something. Sure, they pay attention. So anyway, they go in. Well, Clark, I forgot. Clark actually goes by himself. And of course, they gotta take Clark out because it's super straight and everything. So he goes head first into a room full of kryptonite. Yeah, so the others have to show up and save him, then rescue Bart. Well, Oliver helps rescue Bart, while the other two are getting information on Luthor Corp. That's their job. I do like AC's response. He's like, when all these before when they were talking about what happened, he said, well, Victor's like, Ollie found me. I was on the street. It didn't work out with his girlfriend Catherine. She tried, but it didn't work. And Oliver gave me a roof over my head and all that, blah blah blah. And then AC's like, they're like, oh yeah, you were. AC's like, well yeah, something about a charity case or something. And yeah, but as I recall, when he found you, you were about to be chopped into little cans of tuna. Maybe at least you'd be dolphin safe. Fish jokes. It's always fish jokes. I like it. I'd just like to point out, and this is inconsequential to the episode overall, AC's hair is incredibly poofy here. It's like, there's a picture right here, see? It's poofy. It's kind of poofy, you know? Their hair are different, except for, their hair is different. Their hair is all different, except for, you know, Tom Stone keeps it short. But like, this will be Kyle Gallner's hairstyle for a while, the mop top. He had it in this, and the Nightmare on Elm Street remake, and Jennifer's Body. I think he filmed those back to back though, Jennifer's Body and Nightmare on Elm Street, because Jennifer's Body came out in 2009, Nightmare on Elm Street 2010. So, but anyway, so eventually after saving Clark, they save him, and they're gonna blow. They save Bart. They're gonna blow up the whole thing, and we get a big walking away shot from all of them with the explosion, and it's not in here. I have the... What did I do with it? Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. I don't know where it is, and I'm not going to dig all over the place for it. So what it was is it's the shot. The explosion shot and them walking. It's basically the thumbnail I used. Them walking. And it was on the original... when you... Here. I can demonstrate it. So let's take season 5 here. When you open up these, you have this, right? This is Luthor Corp. But for the season 6 one, it was that picture of them all together walking off. So imagine that. And when I took this apart, so I could put it in a case, because it's granite on the back. In a case like this, which I can use this case for something else now. I got the Blu-ray. That was going to end up being thrown away. So what I did is I cut it off, taped it together, and I had it in the background for something, but it's not there now. When I was trying to do DC Samurai, I think I had it in the background. I don't remember. I don't remember what happened to it, but I know I still have it somewhere. I found it, bent, and I thought it was in one of those drawers, but I guess not. But yeah, I don't really need to put this back, but I will for now. I know my pants is on now. At least I have the pants on. But yeah, we get that explosion shot, and we find out that Lex. So one of the scenes is that Lex is talking to Lionel, and he's like, Green Arrow and his goons his terrorists, he says, broke in and blew up 33.1. What that? There was no other people in there. Apparently, it just exploded. So yeah. And he's like, one of the security guards described the Green Arrow had someone with him that looked, that from the description, sounds a lot like Clark Kent. And Lionel covers his ass. He's like, no, it couldn't be Clark Kent. I was having dinner with Clark last night. Martha made pot roast with these little potatoes and baby carrots. Clark, he had 3 helpings, which, if you know Clark, makes a lot of sense. Covering his ass. So, couldn't have been Clark, right? Couldn't be. I think Lex is smarter than that now, but he kind of just thinks it. So they're all discussing what they're going to do now. Well, first of all, Oliver, he breaks up below us. He has to. So, I forgot to mention that after the little, he has to run off, they decide, hey, we're going to, let's take a break. And she's like, so see other people? He's like, well, if you want to. I was just suggesting a vacation for both of us. So they're going to go to Monte Carlo, and she's packing swimsuits. Monte Carlo's in France, right? I know I've seen the movie Monte Carlo with Selena Gomez and Katie Cassidy. I've seen that movie. Hey, it's a chick flick, but it's not a bad one. I think it's actually pretty good for a chick flick. Some chick flicks are fine. I'm just saying. As a matter of fact, I should buy that movie just so I can review it. Scotty reviews a chick flick. Some chick flicks are fine. Anyway, it is sort of like a paradise in France. When you don't think of paradise when you think France. You think frog's legs. Apparently, there's a stereotype that French people are stinky. I never thought of that. Not really stereotype. But yeah. So they break up because she can't take it anymore. Him always running off, and he's leaving because he's not coming back. Spoiler alert, he does come back. Just not for this season. He's kind of gonzo. And then he shows up like once or maybe twice in season 7. And then surprisingly, he's a regular in season 8. And that's back when I was not keyed into looking up on the internet quite as much as I am now to see what's going on. I was surprised when season 8 premiered, which was my first big season premiere for Smallville, by the way. And, yeah. He's on the main cast. Whoa! Cool. But, yeah, so final scene takes place in the barn. Chloe knows everyone's power, so they're just kind of, Bart's hitting on her, and they're like, well, we have to go around. Apparently, Lex is opening research facilities around the world. Smallville is the only place with the meteors, by the way. What's he experimenting on? People with different abilities. That's the whole point. Was to experiment on some people to have the meteor abilities. The meteors only land in Smallville because that's where Clark is. What kind of experiments is he doing in other states? It's just an excuse to get Oliver off the show because they don't really need him anymore. This is what they're building up to. So, shit. It's an excuse to get them off the show. But it doesn't really make any sense. Why would Lex be doing... I don't know. But they're going to go around the world. The first one is on an island called Corto Maltese. And if you watched Arrow, you know that's a very big connection to Green Arrow, Corto Maltese. Mm-hmm. It's also mentioned in Batman 89. That's where Vicky Vale got her pictures from. Yeah. And so they asked Clark to go with, and he says that he has another problem to deal with here. That's the zoners, which apparently he's been dealing with off screen because, and let me look at what we got. So, Labyrinth, I think that's a zoner. Whoever's responsible, I think that's a zoner. Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. No. Combat. There's one in combat. No. 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 And then the finale. So there's like 3 more episodes that deal with zoners, I think. Yeah. For being a big thing and a way to get the more freak of the weeks, they don't really do a lot of them. No, I think about it. I guess it was only a handful that landed here, but still. I don't know. But, yeah, so that's what he's got to deal with. And they all walk away in slow motion. In slow motion, my heart starts beating in slow motion. Yeah, they go in slow motion. And, that's it. You could add the Justice League. Dun, 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 or I prefer the Justice League Unlimited thing. Boom, 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 bum, 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 boom, boom, ba, 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 na, 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 ba, 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 na, 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 na. It's better than the. I think it's better than the Justice League theme. Justice League theme is good. Don't get me wrong. Hey, I still, I still think Super Friends theme splash. Bum 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 ba 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 bum ba ba ba. Bum 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 ba bum 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 dun dun bum 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 bum. Sorry, I got into it, but yeah, I'll give this. It's not perfect. That's how the episode ends, by the way. I can't give it a full 5. I'll give it a 4.5 out of 5, though. I think it's really good. I understand why they had to do certain things, like have Bart not be, have him get captured, because 2 speedsters, that's a lot. I get it. But, I don't know. I remember when I first watched this, I thought there would be more of a team thing. Clark still thinks he needs to run off on his own, and the whole big thing is not trying to take down 33.1. Like, if I remember correctly, that's what the TV guide said. But no, it's rescuing Bart. That's the big mission, which makes a lot of sense knowing Bart. But yeah, it's a good one. It's the best episode of the season so far, I think. But if I remember correctly, the next one's not bad either. It's a confusing one, but I remember liking it a lot. So we'll see. So what are your thoughts on this episode? Make comments, so much like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'm Sky, and I'll see you in the next one.